MDRLOz's.
Hello, and welcome to episode 307 of 10 o'clock. I am MDRLOz.
Why are you talking so softly?
I don't know.
Bring the mic closer to your face.
Microphone into my face.
Thank
There
you.
we go. No, it's Russell speaking. I'm MDRLOz. This is Xeno, and for our special guest this week, we have ScarletKingdom.
Our Patreon guest.
Yes.
That thing
Give
I know.
Xeno money. Give Xeno money. He needs it. It makes him actually get things sorted. Actually true. Right, but anyway, enough of that. We shall start this week as we start every week with emblems, which are actually really getting really harder to find. Can this just be a shout out for our... I know we have a very small group of people who watch this consistently, but tell people to use emblems. We need the emblems. Just don't put them on Gauss, because Xeno can't follow Gauss quick enough because he won't play Gauss to keep up with Gauss. So, on the screens at home are two emblems which are the same that Scarlet has. Would you like to decide which is the winning emblem of this week?
I would say I spent long and hard thinking about this, but it's the second one.
It's
the
the
one with the bird.
second one.
It's the bird.
Okay. then.
I like the contrast. I like the pose. I just like it. That's just it's as simple as. And honestly, I'm really struggling to make out the first one.
It's a skull
is
with a
the other
crown.
one? Is it?
Yeah, the lower part of the jaw is a crown, top part is a skull. Don't get me wrong, I completely agree with you. It's like hard to make out. But you got like the eye sockets and everything.
I think I see it now.
Yeah, I can sort of see it, but I think it's the background frame being yellow with it being green.
Oh no, that's the stupid lighting at Cetus.
No, it's Cetus, but also it's the
Yeah.
whatever armor attachment or shoulder pad the frame has is yellow isn't helping. But yeah, I can sort of get what you're supposed to be with it. Yeah, I think that one would have won if it was a better angle, the different colors. But the one thing
that was on Gauss.
The one thing I want to figure out about the CC one with the bird. The bird is amazing and the symbol's pretty cool, but the C's look like they were just written in MS Paint.
Yeah, he says he wants to point this out. He needs
It's
to
either
point this
that,
out.
or this is like, bring back CC, we want crowd control. I don't know. But anyway, if you at home would like to be in of the chance to win 150 platinum, please go to the description below where you will find a link to a Google page where Xeno has spent many an hour setting up this clever, cool system he has devised. On that, you will see some emblems which are fresh this week.
Yes, because I forgot to do it last week.
Fresh this week, so it's these emblems. Please vote which you think is the superior emblem, and then put in your platform of choice that you would like to win some platinum on, and make sure you get your information such as the name you use in game on that platform correctly. If you get this wrong and you win, you don't get no platinum because DE can't find where you are to give it to you. So make sure you get those details right. So that is in the description below. Right, that is that for that, Xeno. We now move on to other things to tell people about, which we refer to as dojo dusting.
So, Scarlet here is going to be our last guest for the coming weeks. We don't know how long because I'm moving in a couple of weeks' time, and realistically, I need us to be able to just record haphazardly, like
Ad hoc.
Yeah, ad hoc. You know, so it might be a case of I need to be able to turn to Loz and say, I can't do tonight. I've got to get this stuff packed. You know, can we postpone it to another night? So on and so forth.
Or my internet is still broken.
All that.
Can we do it this night at the time we get here?
Another big thing is we have to also get to a stable understanding of how we're going to be doing the uploads, because when I move, I'm not going to have a fiber internet connection anymore. And it means that I have to give a 10 gig podcast episode to Loz on a USB 3 stick, like the day after we record, to so he can upload it instead. So
It's gonna be great. We're gonna get trench coats and like top hats, and briefcases, and sunglasses, and I'm gonna meet in a park, and I'm gonna have like a newspaper with holes cut out, and it's be like, "Here's the USB," and I'm like, "The sands flow off deftly down the hills when the wind blows northwardly.
We can't use that one now because he's just given it away.
Of course, that was just a trial, but
yeah.
you also didn't give the response code, so yes. Yeah,
yeah, but even so, well, if someone turns to me that and I just give them the response code, so we can't. That one's defunct now, and
that's excommunicatus. That one.
Yeah, so basically we need to get everything back to a normal state, and then we'll be back to, getting guests on a weekly basis, because I actually quite like doing it on a weekly. It's been a bit challenging to get everyone queued up and things, but I think it's been actually a really nice. I think we've been doing this for like 6 months. So cool. Other dojo dusting news. Can't think of anything else.
We're going
to TennoCon 2020. So, has to happen. We were even considering of not going, weren't we? Right. What else?
Well, it'll be the 5th one. So we're
got to go for the 5th one.
Then every 5 after that.
Every 5 after that. Right. Yeah. Where we be at? So that's it for the dojo dusting. I was going to ask a card now, but because Loz has actually teased me that there is a community response to this, I'm going to ask the card when he's brought it up. So got to remember to do that card, Loz. Right, so we're going to move on to the cards from last week. Yeah?
Yeah.
Not quite sure what you're doing. Playing mobile game?
I just found this little controller I've got that I had, which was really cool, because it would just be like the most minimalistic. It's like just a joypad and some...
The grifter?
Like 6 buttons? No, it's not the grifter. It's just a...
Yeah.
But the thing is, I couldn't get the computer to pick up this. I mean, this is literally all I need my left hand to do for Warframe. Just like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on the stick. But all it could do is control the volume. Just that's all. That's all the PC would let it do.
Wow.
That volume. Such a waste. But it could have been so good.
Right.
Anyway, yeah.
So, graphs from last week. Operator-only Nightwave tasks, yes/no. 63 people responded, 15% said that they didn't care, 19% said no, and 65% said yes. Scarlet?
I am genuinely surprised how much people said yes for this. I honestly thought, I think last time I was on, there was a discussion about op-only Nightwave challenges, and I'm all for it. I think it's a great idea. I'm just surprised it had as much in lean of yes that it did. I thought it'd be a much more niche kind of thing that people would want.
Loz?
Damn. Yeah.
Yes. Right.
I wonder, though I'm not going to make you do it because you've obviously picked your random custom one for the week. I wondered if you went Arcwing only Nightwave tasks. So you'd get the same level of response.
I'm pretty sure everyone would turn around and say no. Right, okay.
Yeah.
So the next graph. Oh, that's the one that closes down Chrome. Found it.
What was it?
It's the second graph one that closes down Chrome. So everyone's going to sound like a robot for a second. As Chrome now takes 3 billion years and all of my CPU to actually turn back on. Loz, say something.
Don't worry.
What?
Say something.
What do you need me to say? I'm just going to sit here and things. Hey, Scarlet, you play...
I am playing I've never frame and I haven't been disappointed.
What about his third ability?
It's good for leveling. That's about it.
Yeah.
I mean, his entire kit's built around going fast, and this ability wants you okay.
Yeah. I honestly don't understand what the point was. That it's just almost they thought, oh, this Warframe is completely based around us flying around the map. Let's give it something traditional that's about very static, non-mobile AoE because we need to give Warframes that ability. It's just why?
Right. Sorry we'll come back to that in a minute when we can actually get the beginning of that conversation again. So, right.
Gone.
It's gone now. Okay, cool. Right, so would you like a limit to play with newbies? Sorry, this was really hard to word because there were so few characters available. But the whole point is, would you like to be able to play with new players with your equipment, but you put a hard limit on your performance? Do you remember this?
I think I understand your question. So,
Do you remember, Loz? You look confused.
No, I
So-
completely
so-
can't remember this before.
So, like, when you're... God, I can't remember what we were playing. We've played something in the past, and a big part of it is being able to play with newer players. But you and I would just take new kit, like, something that we haven't leveled up or anything like that. Something that we don't have a mod build for.
Yeah.
But the question was, would you like functionality or something that brings your performance down to your friends? Do you remember?
Scaled play would have made more sense.
I know, but I had really limited characters and things like that. And
would you like scaled play with
yeah, but I was
newbies?
doing it at like midday on Monday, like 2 hours.
Would you like
Fine.
scaled play?
Then you write them next time.
No,
Dude. Anyway,
my job is to complain at you.
right.
But in limited time, getting
55 people responded. 23% said yes, 27% said no, and 49% said they didn't care. Right, Scarlet.
It's an interesting one. I mean, whenever I end up with like a rando squad of people that are like MR2 and lower, I try to be a bit less kill everything, because as much as I'm sure some people enjoy being carried, I'm pretty sure some people still enjoy playing the video game. I think like the best comparison I can think of would be like, did you guys play the Star Wars Old Republic MMO when it came out?
Yep. Yeah.
You remember in the PvP where it actually you could join at any point and it would scale your HP stats and all that to match everyone?
Yeah.
I think it'd be like that, except it would be a lot more balanced, because for some reason they thought it'd be a good idea to not give the players the skills. So it's like, hey, I can auto attack and one ability. This guy has about 6 different stuns. Sucks to be you now, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But I think the idea is, I think I'm not like for it. I'd probably fall closer to the don't care than the yes. But I do try to like cater to newbies when I spot them in the squad and just be a bit less, let them play the game for a little bit.
To be honest, a part of me is finding it harder and harder to spot the newbie, because the number of players that have like alt accounts or whatever that, you're MR4, yet you're playing completely different from what I've seen other newbies play, and you're talking to the team completely differently from what other newbies have done. So it's like very interesting. Loz?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
I don't know. It's just, I'm just trying to think back to our experience at the start when we played. We had Sam, our good old friend, Mr. Marathia Sam, join us, and you'd help out. If he was limited, but then I suppose he wasn't that far ahead, whereas if like now, I think it's a bigger issue now than then, I guess. I don't think it's too big of an issue.
Bet. Right.
I think if you're going to think about sort of things like that, capping power and things, it'd be interesting to make a game mode for that rather than make it to do with the newbies thing. Because that I would like to see DE make some sort of... I suppose you can do it more with like operators, because there is a cap on what operators can have technically, ability-wise and amp-wise and things. So that DE... Because I think that the... DE doesn't know what power people are bringing, and having some sort of a game mode or two where it's very limited so that they can make a tailored experience to that amount of power they know you have would be interesting.
Yeah, no, I'm with that. Should we move on to the third one?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. How often do you change your builds? Right. 63 people responded to this. 4% said that they didn't. 12% said maybe once every 6 months. 15% said on average once a month. 23% said on average once a week. And 42% said once in a blue moon.
I'm totally once a blue moon.
For me, really depends on which frame it is. If it's one that I like whip out occasionally for like a specific mission, probably don't even change it at all because I've set it up in a way to do something. If it's one I play a lot where you can like actually do different builds, I swap them out like probably like twice a session almost. Because I just like doing weird different things, and I don't really mid-max anymore. I've just kind of stopped doing that, so I just play with really fucky roundy kind of builds and just see what happens.
So what's a Warframe that you frequently change the build for?
Let's pull up my list then, shall we?
You have a list?
Well, I've got my Warframe arsenal right in front of me right now.
Fair.
Let's see. Nova, I'm constantly changing around between like different power strengths, different ranges, different like I've got a lot more utility mods than most people in because I hate going slow. And even that's Rich saying it's Nova because I've got like the electric jump mod. I've got mobilize. I've even got rush in there for the sake of fun. What else? Octavia, because I'm a massive fan of the Manticore thing, and I'm constantly changing the song. And when I change the song, I change the build to try and tailor into that a bit more. Like if I'm playing like a really fast tempo song, I will play like a fast build with like sprint mods and like hide that power strength and just go around as fast as possible. If I'm playing like a more groovy kind of beat, it's all like duration based and stuff like that.
Do you play a musical instrument?
I
can't see what you're pointing at.
There's guitars on the wall.
Oh, okay.
Several. I can see them.
Right, okay. No, it's just your use of the word tempo, and it's just like most people wouldn't bother saying that. Right. Okay.
Yeah, but that's the kind of thing I do for certain frames.
Yeah, I think I defer more on the I don't. It's because like my Oberon set, I mean, would you count it as once in a blue moon that I finally get a hold of an Umbral former and then like I put it in and then I can actually use an Umbral mod? Or do you see that as no, that was only available to you when you were able to do that? Does that make sense?
I think that falls into the second one a bit more, to be fair. Because I imagine you already had like your Umbral Vitality, your regular Vitality, and then once you got the Umbral mod, straight goes into the Umbral one.
Yep. Sorry.
Bless you.
Right, okay, cool. So, and then the last card. Would you like to see void fissures in the open world? 62 people responded. I'm going to sneeze again. 12% said don't care. 14% said no. 72% said yes. I think with what we ultimately said, where the void fissures would require either a gear item or would only appear once every 10 minutes or something, you know, I think that was fine for open world stuff. What was proposed... There it is. When it was proposed in the actual topic itself, it was saying like you only got one fissure per mission. I was against that. But anyway, where do you guys stand?
I'm all for it.
Yeah.
Anything to make to vary up void fissure runs is okay by me.
Oh, it's interesting. I look at it as a way to vary up the open world stuff because these... I've forgotten their names again. Missions...
Bounties.
Oh, God. The bounties I find are so rigid and don't explore a lot of the map or don't interact with the map in a lot of unique ways. They're so repetitive that just the variation it would bring by going, hey, here's some portals in an area. It's like, hey, I've never fought up this mountain before. I've never fought in this ditch before. But you'd have to, because that's what you'd have to do. It'd be really cool.
I definitely agree with that. Like, how much of... I wonder if someone's like made a hot map of like people traveling the map, the open world, and like how much of each area is actually traversed. I'd like to see that statistic.
Unfortunately, D's the only one that will have that information.
Exactly. So, maybe they'll do that at like the end of year kind of thing. Maybe. We can never know.
No, I see what you mean. I'd love to see... Get like 100 players, go onto the Valis and just do the bounties and record where they do. And I bet you they'll make a pattern where they pretty much do the same routes.
Yeah. Cool. Right. So... That's it for the cards. Loz, Patreon questions.
Okay. So we have some questions from Nick Evans and some questions from Zrugal. Nick Evans says, the game is full of basic mods that are not worth placing on our frames. What base mods would you combine together or give massive buffs in order to make them potentially viable choices? For example, Sure Shot and Perpetual Agony, 15% status chance and 30% status duration. Combine and buff them to make a 90% status chance, 90% status duration mod, which could possibly compete with the dual stat elemental mods, or a choice if you didn't have a Riven.
I honestly don't know because I don't know the mods well enough. It's like, here's the core mods, here's the ones I give a crap about, and they're all the garbage ones. They're not even worthy of knowing the names. You know, it's like, because Loz, you bring up the base
Any
status.
and all status chance mods.
Yeah.
It's the base ones. The percentage on them is like ridiculous. It's a 5 rank uncommon mod. I'm pretty sure, as it says here, 15% chance. Like
Yep.
what?
But
And
That's
it's
awful.
And it's drain 9.
It's 9 drain. Whereas the drain 7 rare dual stat mods of a little bit less elemental damage and some status chance are like 70, I think.
60% status, 60% chance, 60% chance, 60% elemental, and it's 7 drain. Why?
Yeah. Now, it kind of made sense at first when the status chance were rare, and I do remember, I'm going to have to go find us the dev stream when Scott was talking about it, and his response was, we're going to keep it low at first and then increase it if need be, because if you give something to players, it's hard to take it back, but you can give them more. And you could say that, well, they put in the rare mods to give us more, but that's stupid because you're constantly getting mods which are dropping, which are absolutely useless apart from just become endo. There's no time those mods are viable. And I would be surprised if by the time a player gets to the point they start thinking about builds, they might consider, if you really wanted to do a status build, which isn't as common I don't know, maybe people will correct me here, in my opinion, like crit or other things are more common than let's build pure status chance. By the time you get to that stage, you're not going to be using those mods. You're going to be able to either trade for or get your hands on some of the dual stat mods, which are just far superior. Those mods need to be revisited and fixed or removed. I think those are the only ones I'd say.
Yeah, I think there's a problem with how the game's advanced. Is that there's so many just good mods. The need of a mod needs to be absolutely insane. A new one to replace something on your current build. It's kind of silly.
But
like,
sorry,
I'm more of the opinion, instead of constantly trying to put new, different, more powerful mods in the game, kind of put more niche things, stuff that do weird things like they've been doing with the Nightwave, like the Harpack one that gives you like 300% crit chance to do a thing. Or then you got the more like really niche stuff like Ruinous Extension that goes on the Atomos, which turns into one of the best room clearers in the game. It's like, I feel like the mods are just raw stat boosts. The only time they're good is when they're busted at this point.
I think the only mods that I would like to see improvement on are the augment mods. Like, I would like to see more variations on the augment mods. Why can't we have an augment mod for Oberon's Smite that instead of, so this augment will allow you to irradiate friendly players and gives them radiation damage while they're using their guns or swords. Why can't there be one where you fire it at an enemy and then instead of balls of radiation damage flying off, all the enemies get pulled together to receive radiation damage and then they just drop to the floor. So it's kind of like a vortex, but it doesn't last. Why are we limited to just one augment per ability?
I think the only reason it's one per augment is because they haven't made all of one for every frame yet, as far as I'm aware, or at least for each ability.
Well, that's because they keep making more frames.
Exactly. So it's really hard. It's kind of hard to justify saying, I've got this really cool idea for, let's say, I don't know, Wukong. New mod for Wukong. I think he has all 4. I can't remember. But so let's make this new one. But what about the other 30 plus Warframes that now only have one compared to this random one extra one?
Yeah.
I think the only way they can do it is if they do it like a batch of 10 at a time or something. Or people are going to get hella mad.
I'd say 4, but even so, like, it's.
No, I think what a fair point to do would be to draw a line in the sand at some point, like now, and then say, right, new frames are going to get augments, but they're also going to start the season 2 with the original frame, so that you're continuing producing ones for new ones at the same time as doing a couple for the old ones.
I think that's cool. I don't know what the time scale is to actually create one of these augment months from DE, but if they do decide to go, they want to do a second pass over on all the older frames with older augments. It's just more content in the end, assuming they can do it in a reasonable time scale.
Well, I mean, they've massively reduced the frequency in which they're releasing Warframes. So
True.
I think it's only like 4 a year now. I think it's just in pace with. I think they have to produce a minimum of 4 a year to make sure that they're in pace with Prime Access, with that being at least 4 a year.
I guess it makes money is why, yeah. I was about to say that I wouldn't mind if they caught up for a bit if they needed to, but I suppose it's like they need to keep Prime Access on a nice rotation because it brings in the money.
Yep. Okay, next question.
Who is your favourite Muppet? You can't say Loz.
Damn it.
What is your favourite Muppet movie? Nick Evans knows you far too well, Xeno.
Favourite Muppets.
It's just like he's in your head. Like he's set up, your free real estate. It's set up.
Tim Curry. The Muppets Treasure Island movie.
He's not a Muppet.
Was he in the Muppets Treasure Island movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, there you go.
A Muppet.
I can't think of Tim Curry without thinking the original Stephen King's It iteration on the film.
Never seen it.
It is so bad, but it's so amazing at the same time.
Actually, no. My favorite Muppet, or Muppets is plural, are the two guys from the balcony.
Yeah, everyone knows.
Yeah.
I don't actually know their name, but yeah, they're them. Or animal. Where's your animal?
Muppet characters, old men.
I thought that had just traumatized Loz and he stalled.
Statler and Waldorf.
There you go.
Yes.
Right. Next question. Oh, actually, no. Did you guys answer?
No.
Sorry. So Loz is Tim Curry.
You didn't say I couldn't say Xeno.
I'm rude. Scarlet?
I'm checking because I'm not sure if I'm getting my old fiction mixed up. Because I have been so long since. No, I was about to say one from Sesame Street and really upset some people.
Oh.
The Count,
go on. It was the Count.
It was the Count. Cool.
It was the Count.
Right.
The Count's my favourite Muppet.
Yep, moving on.
Both of you are clearly wrong. It's clearly Dr. Bunsen Honeydew and Beaker. They're clearly the best.
No. More sarcasm.
Heresy.
Next question.
Fine. Google asks, it's been months, maybe years. When are you going to open those gifts from Badger?
When this channel hits 1,000 subscribers. It's the only way to incentivize people to subscribe.
Fair enough.
Also, it's likely not going to happen, so I don't have to deal with the problem.
You're at what, 600 now on this channel? 600?
550, I think.
Wow.
557. I'll see if I can do anything by retweeting it.
Oh, okay.
You win. You get more followers.
Yeah,
Badger
I'm not gonna.
Because Badger always wins.
Oh my god! Can you just imagine on the other end of this? Because I've had them for years. He's gonna get all the notifications of I've opened his. And he's gonna be like, "What the hell is this?" I don't want to record that. I'm gonna have to keep OBS ready and primed just in case he actually calls me, and I have to okay, turn on OBS. Okay, yes, Badger. What? Yeah, sorry. Next question.
Everybody asks what Xeno be doing, but no one asks how Xeno be doing. How are you doing?
Tired, stressed, buggered my leg. That's getting better. I hate moving. I don't think there's anyone in the universe that enjoys moving. If you enjoy moving, please leave a comment in the description. Tell me what drug you're taking, because clearly I need some.
It also says, and you two LOZ, how are you? Alright. How are you, Scarlet?
I'm good, thank you.
Oh, yeah. Cool. That's it for the Patreon questions. Let's move on.
Cool. Right. Now we're on to the community responses.
Cool. Right. And there's one that Xeno is waiting for, I know. Right, we've got a few this week. So, Andrew Singleton. My one problem with Echoes of Umbra as a buff is I main Oberon. Judging by how Umbra behaves, with his Exalted Blade stopping when you leave Umbra, I'm afraid if I pop out of Oberon with my operator, renewal will get turned off and screw my team over.
I completely agree, which is one of the reasons why I don't like the concept of the Echoes of Umbra.
Yeah, I agree with this. And I was thinking that I don't get why we can't be given, and I know this would be more work, and maybe that's not DE were looking for, and they were looking for a small, easy buff they could give us. Go the extra mile, put a little UI in, that then gives you just a couple of options for the abilities. Now, you wouldn't have to give all the frame abilities. Let's say maybe 1 or 2, and then you could decide how you want your Warframe to behave when you're out of it. Like, cast ability, always, sometimes, never cast, and you could then slide it along a bar to say how it would be done.
Yeah, I think configurable AI, you could do it on different things. So you could say, which ability are they going to interact with? And what are the conditions of them doing it? Because you might say, only ever cast renewal when, a single player is below 50% health, right?
Yeah.
Only cast smite when it isn't currently active, right? So on and so forth.
Yeah, there's ways that... The thing is, I can think of games in the past where I've had that kind of control over simple AI. And that's why I think maybe cut it down to, let's say, 1 or 2 abilities. Don't give them the full plethora of abilities. I'll be okay with that, because it means you could break a Warframe down to 1 ability, so you're getting some out of it. Like, for Excalibur, maybe you get Exalted Blade and Slash Dash. For Trinity, you could have Energy Vampire and Blessing. And you can tell it how to use those abilities, but it can't use Link and Well of Life, whatever. It would just focus on those 2 abilities. You're getting the healing and energy side out of your frame when it's doing that, and just a little bit of AI control. I think yeah.
The only thing is, I can imagine that taking a lot of work to do.
Yeah, more work.
It's just otherwise it's too much of a turn off.
Yeah.
Right. Next response, or Scarlet? Sorry, actually, no, Scarlet. Do you have anything you want to add?
No, I think everything that I could have added has already been said.
Right.
Majoga says, the other topic was when mentioning the aura former being added to the market. I'm sure plenty will disagree with me, but with everything being added to the market, does it feel like DE is slowly going into pay-to-win area? I'm mostly saying this with the example of Xeno's 70+ hour farming versus some new guy just buying it.
I'm not opposed to some new guy just buying it, because it is a worthwhile thing to have for the Warframe you want to mainstream, right? One of my issues is the fact that it's not just been going to the market. There was a Gift of the Lotus alert. There was the the Nightwave intermission, and then it was the market. And it's just and now they're actually looking at the arbitrations to make them more balanced and things like that, because everyone just does. We don't need to go into that route, but I wouldn't say Warframe's becoming pay to win, because you can get them in other methods.
I think there's also the kind of detail to add is that the public platinum trading exists, and at least for people who are kind of like in our position where we're quite deep into the game, it's not really difficult to get items that are worth enough plat to just throw a normal form at the market without even buying it. So it's not even like fully time gated on certain events and releases for these specific items. You can still get them in game with platinum using only in game. Yeah, it's a bit more tedious because trading can be a pain in the ass sometimes. But like, if I get like a decent relic from the most recent prime drop, I could probably sell that within the first few weeks for about 30, 40 plus plat quite easily and have that aura formo really fast.
I think it is actually worth pointing out, though, that right now you can't run arbitrations because they didn't think this through. In order to actually do arbitrations, you have to unlock every node star chart. And with the current Nightwave, they're introducing new nodes. New nodes that are gated behind keys.
Do they count for the stuff?
Yeah. So it's just like swing and a miss. Like, I genuinely looked at this yesterday and I was just like, oh, come on. So hopefully they'll address it and change it and fix it. But like, oh, Jesus. Whoops. This is like pretty much the only response to that.
Yeah, definitely. That is a whoops and a half. Right, so next, here's the long one. This is from Thomas Cooperstein and is all for Xeno. Ready?
Wait. Is this the one that I want to put the card for?
Yes.
Okay.
Right. So it's Thomas Cooperstein. As someone who does accents in my spare time to the humour of my family, I'm getting slightly tired of the attacks on Little Duck's accent. In a world where, you heard a deep voice, didn't you? In a world where the literal words of Silvery Cape have been changed to Cyandana and K9, as in, yeah, the letters K and then number 9, have been changed to Kubrodon. Why on the eternalness of Lotus's purple hologram do you believe that the Cockney accent would have even survived, let alone not been changed over hundreds of years of space, travel, and conflict? The very fact you have a different accent than people in Wales and even further from people in Scotland, and you're all on the same island, should be proof enough that when people move to other places in the solar system, should have an evolved or differentiated. Take a close look at Little Duck and the business and how their accents differ. Lore-wise, they're from the same place. And then later on in the episode, 1 hour 18:26, you exemplify my point. Furthermore, the closest thing you'll find to Oxford English is the northwest part of America, which is 8 time zones away from the University of Oxford. Even though they still don't get it 100% right, it's correct enough that they're hired as newscasters for the rest of America as a method to educate proper speech patterns because it's close enough. Like, Little Duck's voice is close enough to be recognisable as an attempt to be Cockney and not generalised British accent. Leave it at that. Fair? Scarlet, what do you think about Little Duck?
I like it, to be honest. I think it's fun.
You're dead to me.
Look, I've listened to a lot of media in my time, and there's been a lot of mixed things. Like, part of it might be the fault of the direction giving. Like, I don't know if you guys watch the Yu-Gi-Oh! Like TV show, but in one of the seasons there was a character called Alice. I think it was. I might get the name wrong, but the direction he was supposed to give it, he did this horrible Australian accent, and he was told he was supposed to be British.
Yeah,
and that's what the voice acting people did.
Yeah, it was Australian. Yeah,
as like it just turns out it just could be direction. Also, doesn't Little Duck have a robot head? He could just program whatever voice he wants.
Okay, so I'm not knocking people for doing accents, right? I do a bad Scottish accent. I have been told by Scottish people I do a bad Scottish accent. I acknowledge this. And my bad Scottish accent offends Scottish people, right? I can appreciate that as well. The problem I have is the fact that if you were to look at British accents represented in the majority of media, it is the Cockney accent. It's like you've too rightly pointed out, I don't have a Welsh accent, but the media Welsh accent is, I'm from the valleys, right? Which the which the majority of Welsh people also do not have, right? There are a lot of accents that are just like, oh no, this is the British accent, and like, or the English accent, or the Scottish accent, or the Irish accent, and like, no, we have a gamut of different accents, and Little Duck's I'm gonna skip the odd word speech is exhausting, right? It is painful to listen to. If there was an option to turn off Little Duck specifically, I would, right? Loz and I, it was Wednesday night we were playing? I think it was Wednesday night. We were playing, and we decided to go do the Coover Deception mission. We found out it was Little Duck as the operator. I genuinely wanted to quit. Right? There are some people that say that there's a certain accent that like gets on their nerves and things like that. Genuinely, it's exhausting constantly hearing the Cockney accent to represent where you're from. Right? That might be very much, woke speech, which is the whole representation thing. But like, I speak the Queen's English, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, what do you mean you don't know? Right?
Well, I think the way your specific diction and your elocution needs some certain work. The use of the word is nothing but unbecoming.
I rarely say these days.
I beg to differ, my sir.
Get a counter.
You're doing it completely wrong.
Get a counter.
The counter.
Next week we can count.
Genuinely, there's one word that I trip up on, which is water. I often say water. Water. Because that is the influence from my ex-girlfriend. But regardless, no, I hate it. And this comes with a card. Because I am tired of this. And it's a two-parter in one card, right? First off, are you British? So that does include Welsh, Scottish, Northern Ireland, and English. And do you like Little Duck's accent? I certainly hate it. And it is painful. Although Scarlet has now betrayed us and said that you like it for some...
Maybe I like to point out I'm from the Lincolnshire area. We have no accent or any dialect to speak of, so
Lincolnshire does have an accent.
Well, not the area I'm in, at least. Anyway.
Actually, another strong one is Liverpudlian.
Yeah.
And wow, that accent. I went to Liverpool once. I could not understand anyone. Still prefer that over Cockney.
Never been to Liverpool, so I can't comment.
Any other community responses?
Yes, there's one last one, which is from Yokai1235, which sent me a lovely video on what is a Gundam and what this definition of it means, and it goes through many things. And interestingly, though, I think the thing that makes me wonder, because we was basically for Scarlet, we had a fan art last week of a sort of mechanized Excalibur. Mm-hmm. But the look and style of it, in my opinion, was more of a mass-produced grunt unit than an actual, because it was it's Excalibur's Gundam. I'm like, no. But, so I was thinking that, you've never really explained or settled on the issue. Is there multiple Excaliburs in the universe now? Or is there only one?
I might be wrong, but I thought the Prime was the original.
That's been thrown around, but we don't know.
and then all the new ones are mass-produced ones. But I thought that was always the case.
Let's throw in some evidence here. So first off, it is evident that the Warframes we have are duplicates of the original counterparts. For example, Limbo was destroyed prior to our getting of
So
Limbo.
was Mirage, yeah, that's a good point.
Right? So we collected the parts to actually reforge it, so on and so forth. I think Chroma existed prior to us getting Chroma, but I think we had to destroy Chroma in order to get Chroma.
Yeah.
Then we have Umbra. Now, Umbra we're going to sort of gloss over, not because we want to, but because the quest is a single-player experience. It is really heavily trying to focus on your relationship with Excalibur Umbra.
Well, right? I think, yeah, it also doesn't make sense because you are able to reforge Umbra, you do rebuild him, and then the Umbra friend comes out and it becomes rather angry, and you fight its anger and you calm it down because you're able to you're able to fight balance with it. In theory, if somebody else the next week or next day built their own Umbra as well, that Umbra is just going to be nothing but mad because there's going to be no way to calm it down. And it won't be able to fight Ballas, and it just doesn't make sense. So I think we can accept that an Umbra is a unique frame with memories and things, and that maybe the Prime is the first one. But then let's say that I think that a Prime would be more of a Gundam, but it's going to be more of a GM.
But the important thing is that there are also Warframes like Ember, right, who sits on Sargus Ruck. You know, does Sargus Ruck truly have mountains of neural systems? So, is it? No, wait, is it?
I take that as
that.
Yeah, I can take that as basically the video game logic-esque stuff.
Yeah.
You know?
So this is why, in my scope of things, I would say yes, Warframes are mass-produced. You know, I say mass-produced, mass-duplicated, but regardless.
That's it. Let us move on to.
Well, does Scarlet have anything to follow up on that?
Oh,
well,
sorry,
I think it really depends on what you consider as the canon and not. I mean, there was the longest time where Valkyr was a hodgepodge of other Warframes made by the Zanuka. Was it the Zanuka project? I can't remember.
No, Zanuka is a hodgepodge of Warframes, but
yes.
Valkyr was a unique thing that had been a Warframe stripped of its external shell or something by Alan and was kind of like messed up because of that. So that again is a very unique story. So,
but then that got like basically retconned, didn't it, or something, as far as I'm aware. But it's basically the WoW basically the MMO problem of you are this unique and special character that's going to save the world. Just get in queue with the other 10,000 of you.
Yeah. So to be honest, I actually like the World of Warcraft way of dealing with it, where you were a commander, you were a soldier, you were a champion.
Well, the term is you are the champion. Yeah.
No, I'm pretty sure in Legion you're referred to as like commander.
Oh, I never played Legion.
No, not Legion. Sorry.
WoD?
Yes.
WoD.
Yeah. We try to forget
WoD.
Right. Okay.
I stopped playing in WoD. Haven't come back.
You should.
What? You mean you're not playing Classic?
I want to play Classic.
And I started in Wrath, so I don't really have the nostalgia for it.
So when the Classic servers get to Wrath stage...
Oh, God, I'm on that.
Yeah. Good days. Right. Should we go on to topics now? Do we have any other...
Yeah, sure. No, that's it.
Cool. Right, so moving on to topics. So our topics for this week. Topic 1. This is a really long one. Warframes not equipped with melee weapons should be able to fight with their bare hands and feet as though they have a brawling weapon equipped or something else appropriate.
Did Joey send this one?
I wouldn't be surprised if I sent this at Joey. Right? So, topic 2. Synthesis scanners widget could be upgraded. I like this whole upgrading thing. Oh, very, very clever and smart that is. Right, and then topic 3. Suggestion. I think that's supposed to be, I kind of wish that after capturing a Hydralist, we could sacrifice a normal Eidolon shard to summon a terrorist and repeat the cycle again. That's interesting. Okay. Right, so, topic 1. Are you lovelies ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Warframes not equipped with melee weapons, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Atlas and Rhino should fight as though there's 2 of them, equipped with fists. Valkyria should fight as though she has claws, etc. We're cyborg ninjas, and our lore covers a lot of martial arts. But when we've got no melee, we act like we got caught with our pants down and can't attack with melee. It should ideally be weaker than actually having the weapon equipped, but still strong enough to make a difference. Thoughts?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It has come up before in dev streams, and the example that's given is when you get kidnapped by the Harvester, you do exactly this.
Uh-huh.
But then as soon as you find your weapons, you're never able to achieve it again. I don't get why it is not put in. It just seems to be something they just don't want to do, rather than... I can't see a reason why, because it does already exist in game, which means it can exist in game, but they won't give it to us for some weird reason. It doesn't make sense that my character doesn't bring a melee weapon and just can't punch something next to it. It's like, no, I refuse to do that. I'm beyond this. This punching. This is below me. I should only use my weapons because I bought a rifle. It just doesn't make sense.
From a design aspect, the only reason I can see them not doing it, even despite they already have the animations for it all done and everything, is that they don't want people just basically leeching in missions with literally nothing on their equipment and just getting all the XP for their Warframe. That's the only reason why I can see why they wouldn't want to include it.
But you can do that now.
I know, which is weird, but you have to bring one item with you. It has to be bringing one weapon, but I want to bring no weapons, and I want to punch things.
Well, you could make it that you still have to bring a weapon. You can't unequip the rifle, the pistol, and the melee. But to get this, as long as you have a rifle or a pistol and a melee, you get this.
Yeah, I'm more than down for this. Just want to basically mark rush into people and do, like, Flash-style infinite mass punching people.
Yeah! I wouldn't even mind if it did 1 damage per hit and it was just fixed. You couldn't mod it, you couldn't do anything, but it's just that it is a quality of life increase for the game, and I have no idea why they're refusing to do it.
Do you guys watch Tiberos by chance?
No.
He's Warframe tuber. I think he's quite funny.
Yeah, we've had him on.
Yeah. He did that. He did that Spears of Destruction thing where he killed every single boss in the game with the fishing spear. I want to see that again, but with I want to see that, but with the 1 damage melee.
I think that'd be fun. That really would be, yeah. or how about just give us a weapon that can go in the melee slot. So it is counting for XP, whatever, so there's no increase. And it literally is you don't see anything, but you just attack with brawling, and it can't be modded. Why not?
I mean, it's probably the same reason why they won't let us use the Nux Arcwing fist weapon on the ground, because they're fucking cowards, that's why.
Well, the logic on that one is the Arcwing weapons are supposed to be too heavy, and I could see them. There aren't any animations for
they're just cowards.
They're
Do
just
it, DE.
Well, at the rate they're going, I didn't think they'd give us arc guns, so yeah, maybe they'll eventually get around to doing that. Just give us those melee weapons. That would be amazing. It really would be.
I don't know how I feel about this, because effectively this is just the fist weapons that already exist. So things like the Obex that you can equip and use anyway. So if anything, why not just give us the option to hide any fist weapons that, so it looks like what you're proposing. I mean,
I guess you could just give a blank skin to brawling weapons that you can just equip, and it looks like you're just punching. There you go. Actually, that's a really easy idea. There's no reason not to implement that.
It also saves a lot of time, because then you can put the different stances in, so you look like you're doing basically different martial arts for it.
Oh my god, that is amazing. Yes. Well, if we can have bloody one of them is like jingly fists, it's like jingle bell. Why can't we have an invisible skin for brawling weapons? Yeah, and boxing weapons, to be honest. Because that just.
What do you mean? What's the difference between brawling and boxing?
Brawling has the weapons on the feet as well.
Yeah. But there are no just boxing.
Yeah, there are.
Are there?
Ankyros?
Oh no, those are effectively. Shoot, you're right. What about the Kagake?
Furax, the Tico.
Yeah.
I don't know how to pronounce it. Yeah.
Yeah, good shout, Loz. Yeah.
Yeah,
Get
give
on
them
it,
both
G.
invisible skins, and then you can just pretend like you're. Yeah, why don't we have this? That is amazing. If we can have bloody lollipop canes and everything else. Yeah.
You know, you're actually just inspiring them to actually just give us like boxing gloves and then.
Yes. I do not see anything wrong with this. 10 out of 10.
Lars is like, this is a stupid idea. I hate it.
Someone boxing gloves. But I'm actually really enthused by the idea of giving them just invisible skins. That would solve the problem.
I think there'd be some pretty sick machinima work, possibly, because it'd look like.
I am for this idea! It must happen!
120% Xeno is now going to heaven and earth to make this happen now.
This must happen!
This must happen.
In all honesty, until you actually said that, I didn't give a crap.
So basically, what I've done is I've convinced you of the potential of making money off of it.
No, not money, just content. But it's, no. But like I don't have strong enthusiasm for the melee system, right?
Yeah.
So I've got my Dian katana. That's all I care about. Why aren't there more skins for the Dia? Why aren't there more Dia katanas? I want to dual wield Dia katanas, right? I don't even. Isn't it just two-handed Nakana? Pretty sure that's all it's called. But so I'm not. I just use melee for fashion more than anything else. But I'm interested. What is the demand for something like this to make brawler and boxing weapons invisible? I'm interested to see what our community has to say. Yeah. So should we ask the card?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
Should we work our way into the whole boxing gloves as well?
No, I would like to just be staying for just the invisible ones.
Good. There be visible skin, brawling.
You just say all fist weapons. I know they're brawling, but they're still fist based.
Boxing.
I've just realised something.
What?
Because of Haru's new skin, half his hand isn't there, so you'd be double invisible punching people.
Wow.
Oh my god.
I'm not hitting you, but I am.
So one of the damn, that's actually thrown. Oh, so one of the points I wanted to actually raise was this was kind of done with the ilk of, because they didn't just say Rhino and Atlas, they also pointed out Valkyrie as well, with the whole, like, I want to say Wolverine claws, but it's not Wolverine claws. Her gross long fingernails to actually claw people and things. We've started to see that with other Warframes like Garuda, right? Being able to actually bring out her gigantic mandibles if you don't equip a melee weapon, right? Are there other Warframes that you want to see this for? And I'm pretty sure Loz will say the Thurible from Harrow, so pick something else.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a bit of it's a really stupid one, the first one I thought of, but I want to have, like, Chroma just throw his hands out and just start ramming people with his horn. Just be absolutely ridiculous. Well, I've got the deluxe skin, so he's got that big horn on the top of his head. It'd be awkward to animate, but I think it'd be funny. But if you want a serious one, Nezha's circle ring thing, whatever it's called.
Ooh, that is a good one.
I mean, there's some animations for it when he pulls it and throws it and all that. So I think it would be. I think it'd be fun. I think it was
Treat it like a glaive.
actually. I think it was kind of like a real weapon used at some point. These kind of like circle blade things. I'll have to look into it, but I think it'd be fun.
Chakrams.
Oh yeah, of course. There you go. It's literally the name of it. Chakram. I just couldn't think of the word chakram, and it threw me off.
Can you think of one apart from MDRLOz?
No.
Just Harrow?
Awesome. Mainly because I don't want to dilute the idea with the fact that, seriously, why can't I hit things with the throwable yet?
Horrible.
It would be amazing. Woof, woof.
I can hit me with it. Why can't I hit you with it?
Yeah.
Right.
It'll do massive damage.
I don't. Actually, there's one other one I can think of. It's I think it's on the base mag skin where she has those like things coming out of her arms.
Yeah.
Like those could be like Tonfa style weapons, but that's about it. I can think of.
Yeah.
Like she makes like magnetic tonfas.
Ooh, now you're thinking with magnets.
Nice reference.
I try.
Right. Okay, so...
Magnets, how do they work?
No. Right. Should we go on to the eyes?
Yeah?
Sure.
Unless you guys have anything else you want to add?
I'm just looking at the Arsenal list, and there's not one I can think of.
I agree. Totally. It makes sense. The code is in-game, etc. However, will DE do it? No. Why? They're making hundreds of millions of dollars with Warframe. They won't make drastic or sensible changes like this until the game really starts kicking their ass. Well, their ass. I honestly don't. I don't want to say I'm being favoritist or something with it, but I honestly don't think of it in that way. That there is I think Scott's example he gave years ago was the thing. He has a plate. There's only so much food one can put on the plate, and if you put too much food on the plate, something's going to fall off, or because you won't notice it falling off. So it's more that there's just other things. Yeah, but then saying this one specifically, they did address it on the dev stream, and they did say no. I don't understand why though. And I see they have done that in the past and then changed things in the future. So it could be something that come up again and be like, yeah, why didn't we do this? You know, it could be that they didn't understand the question at the time and they're thinking about something else. So yeah, they didn't think of it in the right context. I think though a simpler solution would just be invisible weapons for the fist ones. That would be so cool.
Yeah.
I'm just like, this must happen now. This must happen.
Machinima. Right. Next. Next
The concept is appealing in practice, but I feel it would be a little unfair to sparring weapons to have everybody able to use their moveset by default.
And that's why I feel it. Just make it a skin.
Well, I don't take that as a point, actually, because seeing as sword and shields have nothing going for them and have a cool moveset, whatever, but have nothing, their block value is shared by other things which don't have shields in them. Fucking shield! So, yeah, I don't take that one as a acceptable one, but, yeah, that's why I think we've come up with a much better solution with lets us have an invisible skin. That would be brilliantly. The weapon is still there, you just don't see it, but you can still use it. It'd be perfect. Oh, God, man, this would be so cool.
Yeah, I think that's not really a valid point. I mean, like, the fist melee claw weapons, they've never really been, like, a widespread use thing, because it turns out if you have really shit reach, no, you can't kill all the things that are coming at you. Like, the Venka was, like, ridiculous because it had, like, the much faster combo build when it was in the melee 2.0, whichever version we're in now. Those were ridiculous with how fast they built up damage, but barely anyone used them after they could rank them up.
Yep.
So really, just anything to encourage using different weapons, I'm all for. So even if it's just a novelty item of having invisible skins on them.
Yup.
We're getting hidden blades with Empyrean. And?
Yeah, that's not a melee weapon. That's like the
It's just going to be it's Assassin's Blade, and it's going to replace all the finisher actions. Fair enough, But that's to actually unify them and make it so they don't have to make one for every weapon type, because it was just getting silly, and they can actually make sure they animate correctly and don't probably get rid of some of the scaling issues they had with things like the mowers scaling up to your size and mobs scaling down, you scaling down. It's ridiculous. So hopefully that's to fix that. So that I'm sorry, saying Hidden Blades does nothing. And the last one is fun fact: it was like that years ago before they patched it out. Now the remains exist only in Xeno Commission. I don't think that's true. I don't think that's correct me if I'm wrong. I don't ever remember that coming to the actual main game. I remember it being in Xeno Commission, and that's it.
I don't think it was. I've been playing more or less since the day it came out in open beta, unless I managed to miss it in one of my breaks. I don't remember that. Yeah. I remember getting the Furex. I think it's the Furex, the first boxing fist weapon, punching people and thinking it was the greatest thing of all time. And to be honest, I still do.
Yeah.
Right, that's it for the first topic.
Cool. Right, should we...
We've got a poll, yeah?
Yeah, we've got the... Should there be an invisible skin?
Good.
Right, so moving on to topic 2. Right. Synthesis scanner widgets could be upgradable. Specifically, vector thread plus 45% faster scan time and cross matrix 45% double scan chance widgets. An upgraded version could be available once you have the regular version that increase their effectiveness to 90% but cost 100,000 standing each. And just spitballing, maybe an upgrade for the data parse widget that gives an extra reward on scan, like credits or endo. Amount could be based around level, amount scanned, or something like that. But mostly, I really want to be able to scan things even faster. So, my first question to the pair of you is, do you have an issue with the speed in which you scan stuff?
No. Ever since Helios came out, like, I've never had a problem with scanning ever again. That's just it, really. I would prefer it to be like my Helios doesn't die as much. I mean, is scanning faster versus dying much really the same? It's really much the same thing, all things considered. But like, just use Helios if you've got a problem with scanning. That's my opinion of it.
I'm up for upgrading widgets. I'm up for additional widgets. I don't... So one point I want to make from this is, why does Samaris, the Osterons, the Solarians, why do all of the reps that have no enemies or hated relations, why do they have the same cap as though they did, right? My appreciation for why there is a cap on the 6 standard syndicates is that you don't want to break the system, because if they don't put a cap on the bottom or the top, then some syndicates you'll never be able to get out of the negative, right? If you have a cap on the bottom but not the top, then you can get to a point where you can have all 6 like you. If you again, if you have a cap on the top but not the bottom, it'll fall into a point of you never having being able to get out the hated ones, right? So that I can understand why there are limits on both ends of the scale, but you cannot get into negative relationship with Asamaris. You can't get into a negative relationship with the Osterons, the Solarians, what have you. Right? So why is there such a small cap for those factions, and why isn't there a cost? Why aren't there, like these upgrades, why aren't they 500,000? Right? Why are they just 100,000? Because that's as far as it can go.
As far as it can go?
Well, no, because the cap is 132,000.
Yeah.
Right? So why not take off the cap, right? Or increase the cap even further and just go, right, so these upgrades are 500,000. Because 100,000 isn't a great deal to earn.
I guess.
I think there could be two possible reasons for it. It could just be internal consistency between factions. That could just be the only reason, just so they're all consistent with each other.
Yeah.
The other one that could be, now, I'm not a game designer, but I have heard a lot of things about game design from various people who actually are in it. But basically what they say that if you try to make specific changes to certain things with an engine, the amount of bugs and problems you have to fix as a result of trying to make a change is just not worth putting the effort in the first place, and just leaving it as is.
I've got to be honest, like, I completely appreciate that. I've worked with some things where, you know, someone's just said, "Oh, we want this really simple thing." I was like, "Well, you're not asking for a simple thing. You're asking for a really complicated thing because none of the supporting features for it exists." So, but I don't know. Like, upping the rep cap just doesn't seem like it would have that big a negative impact. It's similar to the whole World of Warcraft. To me, it feels very similar to the whole World of Warcraft. We can't increase the base bag size. I'm like, why? Well, you know, and it turns out that's just not true at all.
Like I said, I have no reason to. This is just speculation on my part. I don't know if it's 100% if it's true or not. I've heard so many. I've spoken to many game designers, game devs, and all that kind of stuff. I've lived with one for a little bit, and like all they've basically said is sometimes the simplest thing. It sounds simple. It's not, and it's really not worth the headache to do it for something that very few people are going to care about.
Loz?
I want to give them talent trees. I want to see. No, I do honestly. I want to see further. I'd like to see different upgrades. I mean, we're talking about this since the scanner here, but why don't we also mention in things like the mining tools? There is no reason to use the mining tool from Earth. It is just inferior. There's like, this is clearly an oversight, or just like sloppy design. Really, in fact, I mean, I don't want to be negative, but it is that it just is awful.
I don't know. Have you guys? I don't know if you guys have done a new account on Warframe since the Orbalis came out.
No.
Yes.
I was going to ask, what's the progression like when you're going from Cetus to Orbalis? Is it significant? Is it Is it a long time between the two?
I haven't gotten that far because I was playing on my Switch and I've just been busy. Maybe like I can pick it up again, not too distant future, when I save all that time traveling.
Because if there's like a significant amount of time between getting to Cetus versus Orbalis, then I can see that making sense because it's designed in the aspect of that's the new player progression. You get all the ones on Earth, and then you get the Orbalis one.
You can get the Orbalis one now on Cetus.
You can?
Yeah, I swear you can.
Oh, well,
really?
Yeah.
Well, never mind then.
Right.
I thought I had a good point.
Are either of you on Warframe right now?
I am, yeah.
Do you want to hop on?
Check.
I'm pretty sure like this was a big point. Like, you know, why the hell put us through all the effort of getting all three of these bloody mining lasers to then go to the next open world and just like bam, there it is.
So have they removed the Earth lasers and just put the Cetus one?
I don't know if they've removed the Earth lasers, but I am pretty sure I remember them putting the Cetus one in.
Which one was it? Old Man Subat.
Yeah,
there we go.
To the mining person.
Okay, so they've got the NOSAM cutter, the focused NOSAM cutter, and the advanced NOSAM. No, the Cetus one, the Orbalis one isn't in this list.
Okay, I thought it was. So, but yeah, I mean, it's just like, I think it's very much a case of they tried doing something, and instead of massively reacting to it and going, "Oh, we need to undo this. We need to." Like, personally, I cannot see the ramifications of swapping out the old mining lasers for the new one.
Maybe it's like just a preservation thing. Maybe like this was a part of the game, and they kind of just want to leave it there because it's part of the ecosystem of the area that it's in. This is what they use. It's thematic to them. Maybe that's kind of the thought process.
If that was the case, I'd argue that for the trials and the raids and things.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
To be fair, I don't think the Nosum cutter is causing as many bugs as the raids were.
Well, I don't know. Like we're not DE staff members. Could you just imagine like each update is held back by a week just because of the additional cut now? You're right. It's extremely unlikely, but you know, it sometimes like so. This is a point that I have. This is a bone of contention I have, that arbitrations have had 2 revisions. Well, they're having their second revision, right, to improve arbitrations. Where is the improvement to Elite Sanctuary Onslaught?
No,
Right?
just generalize that. Sanctuary Onslaught in general.
Yeah. You know, like, that was supposed to be likewise a big end game. What are we calling it, Loz? Top level play?
High-end content, or top level play.
Top level play. So, and yeah, where is the... Yeah, where is that for sorties? Where is that for...
Well, sorties are supposed to be it.
Yeah, but like arbitrations are beyond it beyond sorties by far.
But yeah, the sorties were pre-written. No, did they pre-written?
Sorties were much... yeah, the sorties were pre-ribbons.
Yeah, because you had things like Neja was in the reward pool.
Well, you used to always have access to the sorties, but they took it away until you finished the war within, which is when you actually got the ribbons.
I have the only thing I can say about that is really they have no idea what to do with it. That's just the simple answer.
But
with arbitrations,
that's not fair, because basically the original version was more varied. There was a lot more work that was done. They showed on the dev stream the original version of Sanctuary Onslaught, and there was more to it. You had to hunt down mobs to get things, to open portals.
I think the internal philosophy has changed a little bit in terms of the actual game design, because I think a lot of it is as streamlined as it possibly can be to make it. Because I don't see this game as like an MMO anymore, like I used to. Like you spend. Maybe it's because I'm at the end of the game. I'm pretty much ended the game, and there's nothing else for me to do really, other than just play it. But like as a player, for me, it's like anything that can be done as a simplistic, just bite-sized chunks for fun. That's what I'm in for, really. And if the more complicated they make it, the more they have to tailor it to very specific things. Like we know raids are coming back at some point. Yeah. We know at some point whenever they decide to do it.
So let's point out, right? We've got the new war coming in Christmas. We've got what's the name of the
Railjack.
Yeah, Railjack at some point, Empyrean at some point. We've got the new player experience, right? Yeah, trials are coming back anytime soon.
No,
you forgot the Plains of Deviri.
Yeah, Plains of Deviri. God, yeah. Right.
So in 2 years from time, when they bring raids back, 3, 4, 5, 7 years, whatever, they get the heat death of the universe, and they'll finally release raids.
The thing is, they say about bringing raids back. I don't think if they do, I think what they meant was that there'll be some sort of 8-player content. They won't be bringing the raids back. I think other people are like, oh no, they're bringing the raids back. The ones
that were existing.
Yeah,
I think it's just like they're kind of stuck in this limbo where they need to make content that you can do at a high level to actually have some vague semblance of challenge in the game, but they haven't quite nailed down what they want the actual end game to be. So really, we're just making it as we is. So having just simplistic content that's repeatable and easy to put out is a lot higher value to them at this moment in time than the less repeatable, more high-end stuff to actually do. If that makes sense.
Basically, all that is right. We need to feed this person. Quick. What can we produce quickly? Right. We can make this fast food. Okay, then they'll eat fast food for a bit, but eventually, if you just keep serving them fast food, they're going to be like, I want my lobster thermidor and steak tartare. I do not want any more.
Where's my caviar?
Well, that's literally the problem they've been in for the past 2-3 years now, haven't it?
Exactly, yeah.
They've just been trying to find things to tide us over until they have an idea of what they want this game's end game to even look like.
I think it's more than that, though. I think it's a case of that when they tease something like Empyrean, because Empyrean was teased back in 2018 at TennoCon, right? And it was then teased again at 2019 TennoCon, what we're expecting. I think a big thing is they base their development processes on the community response. So if the community is just like, yeah, another one is Melee 3.0, right? That was just supposed to be new animation sets, but they end up building a whole new Melee
2.0.
Sorry, apologies, 2.0. And I think the problem is that when the community gets super excited, DE pour all their resources into said thing, and then smaller things do not get a look in, right?
I also don't even mean. I think sometimes when they pour all their resources in, I feel that they get less done. If that makes sense, they make the big thing, but the leg thing for having everyone contributing to it isn't really that amazing.
Yeah,
like the War Within, for instance, was like, okay, it's a tile set and a quest, which is some voice acting and some animation stuff, and that there was ribbons, but it's like, this was delayed for ages and held back, and everyone was working on it because sacrifice. They had pulled everyone off the sacrifice. It's like,
oh no, with the sacrifice, they pulled everyone off of Fortuna.
Was everyone off Fortuna to fit? Right.
But it's just like
broken. You know?
Sorry, that's our understanding of the situation.
Yeah.
But
we don't know what the internal politics of DE at this point.
They could have had.
I think they said something like that on a dev stream, because they obviously people are asking why is it delayed? Why is it delayed? And said, okay, we're working on this now. I'm working on this.
But
now.
I think one of the big things is like, if they went, okay, Empyrean, it's not going to be for like another 6 months. You know, let's go to arbitrations, Sanctuary Onslaught. What else? Let's pick sorties, right? Let's just spruce them up, right? If they did all three or one after another, I think I'd be fine. But arbitrations, to me, it's just like that's nice. That's nice. Don't really care. That's nice. Yeah.
I think they're just stuck in this thing of perfectionist syndrome almost. Like, when they do something, they want it to be perfect. I mean, we remember the hassle of the Damage 3.0 fiasco. They said, they said this is what we have the idea, and they've basically made the 2 physical damage types worse.
That was the 2.5 one, yeah.
2.5. I can't remember. It was either this year, the start of this year, or start of last year.
Yeah.
And then they said like backlash against it. Okay, we'll put it on the back burner for now, and now they've completely forgotten about it because they don't know how to do it to make it good enough. But they're like, everything's like it's like going to, it's like, I'd like it saying it's like going to university. You start off and here's your endpoint. I want to do this thing, but I need to go through 4 years of uni. But there's like, every time there's a new big thing within the office. Like, first it was like narrative stories-based quest. Now it's been open worlds. Now it's Railjack. They're basically starting their course over after doing the first 1.5 2 years of it and never seeing it through. And we don't have the interim content being generated at the same time to have these massive content drops and not be kind of salty when they only last us about 2 weeks tops. So yeah, it's basically a frat party, calling it now.
I wouldn't go that far, but okay. I can't think of anything else to highlight on this.
Alright, but what about as we've gone into where we
back.
ended up? But I don't know where we've ended up on talking about this, but like original point was talking about the synthesis scanner, and the one point I think it led to was I was saying that maybe we could have like talent trees of regression for that, and the mining tool would be another one.
Yeah,
and I think that's when that's where I found the rabbit hole, and we went down. I don't know where we ended up from there. What do you guys think about that? About adding variety into those things by that?
I'm fine for that.
Personally indifferent, but if it's there, it's there.
Cool. Right. So let's reply.
It's like Warframe's razor. For any amount of time you discuss Warframe, it will always result in the content drought. Always ends up there.
I think one thing that we've brought up time and time again is like, why isn't there an expansion to the operator talent tree? Trees, plural. Sorry. You know, like, so yeah, just do it.
Extreme suggestion: upgrade it so it scans everything in view. Isn't that what a Helios is called?
Helios only scans if you don't have the codex entry.
It's still one at a time. Imagine just scanning the entire file set at once. That would be amazing. That I'm down for. I'd pay $1 million standing just to have that ability.
Well, what's it called? You got the Arcwing weapons, melee weapons can scan by killing things. So.
Oh, yeah, you can do that, yeah.
We should have
all the more reason for melee-based Arcwing ground weapons.
We should clearly have an Arcwing-based mining laser, right? That we point at a mining node, we just shoot at it, and we don't have to follow any weird patterns or any time stuff. It's just like, you just blast it, you got the resource. Right?
I would like to mine asteroids. That would be really cool with Arcwing.
That too.
And
that'd be
spiders.
Great.
Gotta have some space spiders.
That'd be great, actually. Just the idea of like, you don't like getting resources on the plane? Fuck it, get it in space. Yeah. With massive mining lasers.
And massive quantities.
It's like,
the downside is you have to do Arcwing, sorry.
Here, have about 10 tons of TNT, throw it at a rock, take whatever's still alive.
Oh. That's where the space spiders get you.
Yeah. Exactly. CD, this is what you need to do with Arcwing. Make it a mining minigame, but you're shooting rockets at asteroids.
I'm concerned now, because what happens if an asteroid turns out to be a dodecahedron and teleports you to another planet where you have to solve all the puzzles and everything with weird geometric shapes?
Well, I'd say it's more content, so screw it.
No.
But
no.
But the question is there eggs full of green goo?
The question is there a turtle where the anatomy makes no fucking sense and you have to rebuild the skeleton?
No, Xeno. Is there a pair of sticks that you randomly have to decide to point at the ceiling to continue the game?
Oh, fucking God. How did we even come up with that one?
No, Dan helped us with that one.
Is it because that was the only thing that he remembered? From the entire...
No, he knew the answer. He said he knew the one. Yeah. They were in the room, it's just we didn't point them at the ceiling. Anyway, for everyone, again, don't worry, we're just having more dig flashbacks. We're going to have to do a playthrough of the dig and record it and put it up for everyone to show us and scream. Right, anyway. Moving on, next one. Of course, why not up it? I have it scale to 5,000%. Problem with these games is just this. People always want more. 45 increase on scan times and chance of getting 2 scans is awesome and generous, but no, we want 90%, of course. Tobiah note. Thank you, Tobiah. I'm looking at the camera here. Thank you, Tobiah. Tobiah note. Very clearly sarcasm.
Yeah, we got that.
Thank you, Tobiah.
But it's good that you got our back. Because sometimes we're dumb. Don't get it.
Yep. I'm very dumb. Very gullible. Right, so next one.
You're not that gullible anymore.
The real widgets everyone wants are ones that still auto-scan plants and cavats after the codex entry is done. That would be greatly appreciated, even if they were just mods for the Helios Prime that were insanely expensive. Give it to the Helios or give it to the... what's it called, the other one? Oculist?
Oculist.
The Oculist?
I think it is.
I just realised now I just want a Kubro mod where it just sniffs the feral cavats and plants to get the scans for you.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what they're asking for. Yeah.
Oh, is it?
So
No,
yeah,
that's
see.
I'm
Oxulus. I think maybe it should be something on the Oxulus because the Oxulus has scan aquatic life forms and scan matter. So it makes sense if it would scan plants for you because it's kind of like it doesn't really care about killing things. It's the world sentinel. You know, it would make sense to give it that and scan animals. But maybe you could give scan plants to the Oxulus, scan cavats to the Helios.
Yep.
Both, you know, I think it'd be good. But I think that I definitely think that should be something giving 2 sentinels as a mod. Get that in the game. Right, and the last one is, what's the point of your suggestion beyond just making scanning even easier than it is already? Sorry,
that's literally the point of the
yeah, they want it to be easier.
I mean, it's kind of in the title. Synthesis scanner widgets could be upgradable. I mean,
which would make them better, which would make things easier. Yeah.
What were you expecting from a title like that? Like, synthesis scanning should be done by pen and paper. Like, what? Genuinely, what? That is kind of a really nasty response. You don't need to.
Well, yeah. Well, it's almost like this person saying, "I wanted so that when I do scanning, I have to work out with a quadratic equation and some logarithm the actual distance and size of the object before I scan it. Thus, I have to input this into the Warframe manually, and then I'm able to scan the object. But if it moves, I have to start again because I don't like my scanning to be easy. I like my scanning to be hard."
It's like saying, in order to actually mine things, you have to actually do typing in the. You know what typing in the dead is, yeah? Yeah. So, for everyone else's benefit, typing in the dead is House of the Dead, but you are given sentences and you have to type out the. Was it sentences or just words?
It evolves.
Yeah.
No, it evolves. It starts out with like simple like practice things. It depends on difficulty you set it to. The whole thing is to try and teach you typing. So sometimes it'll just get you to push random buttons.
Yeah.
But just so you know what it is. Other times it'll like construct sentences to kill the zombies.
Yeah. And you can just imagine that for mining.
Yeah.
The April Fools, get on it. Right. Let's move on to the next topic.
Yeah.
Yeah. I asked the card, which was, would you like Syndicate Talent Trees? So I'm totally on board for that. And this is coming from the person that hates talent trees. But to be fair, I don't know. If it's like a secondary thing, I'm fine with it. If it's a primary thing, I'm like, nope. Right, next topic. Suggestion. I kind of wish that after capturing a Hydralist, we could sacrifice a normal Eidolon shard to summon a Terrorist and repeat the cycle again. It'd be great if we could start the cycle of capturing Terrorlists over again after defeating the Hydralist. Eidolon shards are much less necessary anyway, ever since Quill Arcanes were changed to be already built. So the already built, all you can use them on is cosmetics that you can buy with Plat.
There is a handful of more uses. It is used for like for recipes, I think. Like I think on the Umbra quests, and then like 1 or 2 weapons use it. So there is a small use, but it is still limited. Yeah, we have discussed this a few months ago that these things are just useless in the game right now.
Okay.
In fact, the synthetic ones are more useful than those. You can't even convert them into focus.
Can't you?
Nope, not the. I don't think you can unless they have changed that. But you didn't used to be able to.
I thought I could have sworn you always could.
No. Well, I caught it just Eidolon shard, yeah?
Yeah.
Warframe.
You're gonna wiki it?
Yep.
I'll continue reading then. Also, back when the Ganchulist and Hydralist, were about to be introduced, I remember D-Reb mentioned something similar, but it was never brought up again. I don't remember her saying that.
So, sorry, just jumping in here. They can use the shards are required for the sacrifice at rank 3, rank 4, rank 5 for the quills, and you need 5 to build the paracesis. That's it.
Oh, fair enough.
Can't do anything else with them.
Right. Where are you guys with this?
To be honest, I'm I'm not sure I understand the question. To be honest,
So, if you're doing a Tridolon run,
yeah,
have you done the Eidolons?
I've done them a lot. Yeah.
Cool. So when you do a Tridolon run, when you've killed the last one, the Hydralist, your only option, if you want to do more, is to leave the plains and then go back out again to find a wild Terrorist. What this person is proposing is that you go back to the stone in the lake and you sacrifice a standard Eidolon shard to then summon a Terrorist again. So you start the cycle over.
So basically, he's just asking to skip the process of returning to Cetus and going back into the plains to skip that process.
Effectively, yeah. My concern with this is making sure that there is enough lures out in the environment, because I don't...
They respawn.
They do respawn? Okay, good.
They respawn.
But that's now no longer a concern. I'm fine for this. I also wouldn't be opposed to being able to... No?
No.
Why?
I'm sad in you, Xeno. This is not the correct answer. You know what the correct answer should be to this.
Make them suffer.
No? Yes, but how?
Oh, you summon all three of them at the same time.
You summon all three of them!
God. I don't know if my computer could handle all three at the same time.
Hey, I genuinely, and you can hate me for this, but you know you love me secretly. I know you love me secretly. I turn to DE Connor and say, so when are we going to get the Tri-Eidolon tackler? And he was like, that's the best idea ever. Everyone's going to love that. I'm now saying it out loud, and it sounds a bit like sarcasm, but I believe in him. He thinks that was the best idea. So do you. He never said that.
I think he just laughed at you, didn't he?
I think he was more like, we'll see.
That's going to break the game, or... we can't do that, or that's a crazy idea because for some reason we're never going to do that. And
actually, I think his response was like, "Why would you want that?" I'm like, "Why wouldn't I want that?"
Yeah, exactly. I'm not justifying that as an response. No, everyone wants that.
Why do I feel that this should be a card?
Make it a card. It's like, this person's like, because I'm sorry, can I just point out that so what they're asking for is just to repeat the cycle again. You can just go in and out. Yes, they're going to lose a little bit of time on going through a couple of doors and some loading screen. That will reduce their ability to do, let's say, a second run in a night. I don't know how efficient people are. I assume some people can even do like 3 complete runs in a night because they're just so amazing at killing.
In the recruitment trap, people are saying 5x3, so you apparently do 5 nut runs if you start at the very start of the night, which I think is utterly insane.
Now, if people are able to achieve that, because
that's 10 minutes.
That's a really interesting fact. That I'm gonna have to remember that one because I want to do something about it. But I'm failing with myself. So all they're doing is they're trying to save time, and if you can do 5 runs in a night, which just well done, good people that can achieve this madness. All they're going to do is so now they can do 7 runs a night. Let's say if they can cut out the loading time, right? And what's that achieved? I really don't think this adds much to it. Now, lore-wise, if they want, I mean, if they're wanting this, in theory, that means there's more Eidolons under the water. How does that work?
Not necessarily. You could be resurrecting the same one
from the shard that it dropped.
Yeah.
This is like the Doctor Who episode, right? Where the moon is an egg, then a beastie came out of the egg of the moon, and then it pooped out another moon that was the size of the moon that was the egg that it came out of. That's not how things work, and we're not going down that route.
That's not how the conservation of mass works.
No. Bloody inflatable moons.
Which Doctor Who series was that? I do not. I know of the episode, but I don't remember which series it was.
I want to say it's David Tennant.
No, it's Capaldi with.
That explains why I don't remember it so well.
It was Capaldi. Capaldi Moon.
It's still the Moffat era of writing, wasn't it?
Kill the Moon. Season 8, episode 7.
Who wrote it?
Yeah.
Who wrote it? Good question. It was written by Peter Harness.
Yeah.
Oh, so it wasn't Moffat then. Never
Moffat
mind.
does good writing.
He does do good writing. I won't give him that. But he just wrote some really stupid episodes.
Not as bad as
And some
bloody
good
Russell.
ones, but some bad ones as well. Yeah.
What was a bad one he did?
God.
I'm not arguing that there aren't any. I'm just asking like what bad ones.
See, I only remember the good ones. I kind of forget his bad ones.
That's
some
the
of the-
problem.
Like I think the Capaldi. I think at the start of the Capaldi one is pretty rubbish. The one that introduces him, it's not great.
I don't
It's got
remember.
like a T-Rex in London. It's like, oh, okay,
I don't remember.
you do, yeah. But I mean, at the same time, he did Blink. He did the Library.
I
With
like the library.
the Shadows one.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're very, very good.
To be fair, it seems like his best ones are just the horror ones, which, to be fair, is really good because that's literally the only reason why I watch Doctor Who at this point for that one horror episode each season.
Mm.
I actually really like the. I think one of the space ones was his as well, like where everyone is dead. There's like a black hole or something, and people are just like dying, but they're trapped in the radio, or the radio's echoing their souls. Or do you remember that
Mhm.
one? It's
Yeah,
like-
I know which one you mean.
That's the Library, the radio echoing.
No,
souls
no, no.
thing.
Oh, no. Maybe it wasn't the library. There was one where basically the astronauts would die, right? And if they touched you, you would die also.
Oh, that was the Waters of Mars.
Yeah.
Was it the Waters of Mars?
Yeah, Waters of Mars, because they corrupted the water in your body and things.
Yeah.
Written by Russell T Davis.
I don't think it was that one.
And
I swear there was an. Okay, what's the one with the black hole? There was one with a black hole. That's the one I'm referring.
It's the one with the ood in it. This one.
Oh god, the one with the devil.
Yeah, literally Satan.
Yeah, The Impossible Planet. Written
Impossible
by
Planet. That's it. Yeah.
Matt Jones.
Rip.
Anyway, moving on. Sorry, just random banter. So my question to you is, would you like a Tridolon fight, or would you like a 4th generation Eidolon? Would you like to fight the Ropodopodopolist on Eidolon, or Cetus, ignoring the environmental mechanics?
I think a different version of the Ropodopolist. So it would have to be the Tropodopolist. Like we've got the Gauntlist and the Hydralist.
Why isn't it the
Terrorist.
Doparopolist?
Well, there we go. It's the Doparopolist. Whatever. But I want to fight it with Arkwings.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I'm gonna say something, and it probably upsets Xeno, but I kind of agree with Loz on that one.
Why would
I
that
think that
upset
would
me?
actually. I
He
thought
likes
you
Arkwing.
hated it. I thought you hated Artwing.
No,
Oh, you make
I'm
me-
the one that's making Arkwing great again!
Sorry,
What
I
do you
must have
think AMGA stands for?
you have a very valid point. Sorry, I've seen so much Arkwing hate. I kind of just assume everyone hates it at this point,
Nah.
and I keep forgetting who likes it.
Nah. I'm the huge advocate for making Arkwing great again.
Mhm.
You know, AMGA doesn't stand for anything else.
AMEA.
No. MAGA, sorry.
MAGA, not AGA.
You are aware that's the same as
Make Arkwing great again.
yeah. It's that.
Oh, that's why like Donald Trump has such amazing visions about making Arkwing great again.
Well, he does have the Space Force.
Space Force.
Don't forget about Space Force.
Space Force. I don't know how many people we've just oppressed, but you know.
Right, but anyway, we've gone. Just to point out, we were supposed to be talking about that. We've gone into Doctor Who. We've become the Doctor Who podcast, and now we've become the memeing political podcast. So let's go back to this person's comment here, which was,
Yeah.
"Do you want to have this repeat thing?" Now, personally, I think I don't know. To me, I'm not one of these people who are able to do like 5 runs of it in a night. I don't know if this is a big thing for them. Maybe there is something I'm not seeing here that they would really appreciate this if it was added in. To me, though, I don't feel this is great, and I think there's other better uses that could be done for the Eidolon Shard, and this would detract from that. You know, what percentage of the player base regularly do Hydralist in a night? You know, I mean, I could do 1. I don't think I could do 2. So how much of an improvement would this give for other players? I think this is dealing with, like, we're talking maybe the top 10% of players here, if not a smaller portion, that try and do multiple runs in a night. And giving the Eidolon Shard, which currently does very little, to them for this, I think is a bit of a waste for the Eidolon Shard. And I personally think, seeing as they can just go through a door, come out again, lose a little bit of time, is good enough. I don't think that's needed.
I think if you could just modify it slightly, instead of just resummoning the original Eidolon, just put like a hard mode Eidolon on it, or something like that. You do a triple run again and just put it as hard mode. I don't know, double health, more mechanics, more like death kills. I don't know.
Well, I can get behind that, but at the same time, I would say same reward. Now, there's not. This is purely for challenge. The people, because the problem is some people are like, oh, if you're gonna make you have to give us more stuff. It's like, no. This is just for fun. This is just to push yourself and test yourself.
At most, I'd say like a slight percentage increase on the rare arcane drop, and that's about it.
There you go. Yeah, okay, I'll give you that. Yeah,
I'd also put some vanity stuff on there. So like maybe some ephemeras or whatever. Maybe you could have like an ephemera that when you move, like you hear like the steps of an Eidolon occasionally, or you hear the occasional screech of an Eidolon, or
I think that would be rad.
Yeah. Or maybe if you stand still, like there's a really faint shimmer of an Eidolon around you, sort of thing.
Ooh.
Sort of like
you're giving me good ideas to send to DE to steal and say they were mine.
Yeah, because there's not like a podcast or something when I said it, and
just do it.
I know.
Yeah.
I am all for this. This sounds like a good use of time.
Yep.
I would happily do a ton of hard mode runs just to get that. That sounds great.
Yeah.
Right. So, but overall, though, I think the original idea that's put here, do we agree this cycle repeating thing probably isn't a good use of it?
To be fair, I'm fine with what they've proposed. I'm not against it, but I think I would like to just take it further rather than just start.
So you're fine if this is the only thing that gets added in for Eidolon? They currently do next to nothing.
Okay, no, but at a minimum, I would like this added in.
I really don't think there's much to be gained from this, but fair enough. There we go. We'll continue from now. Should we go to replies? Yeah.
Yep.
Scarlett, you got anything to add? Sorry.
I said my bit. I just want a hard mode Eidolons. Do that. Great. If not, indifferent.
Fair enough. Right. I wouldn't even mind if something terrible happened to Cetus if it meant we could fight Eidolons during the day.
No.
Again, that's not what the topic was suggesting, but okay.
To be honest, I don't like the time sensitivity to doing Eidolon runs and things. I'm fine for there being time sensitivity to fighting a Eidolon, but not when you can start it.
Mm-hmm.
See, why not? Here we go. Use your Eidolon shards.
I know exactly what you're going to say.
At Konsu, and you get to go on a special bounty that instantly makes it night for that bounty until you come out again.
I'd like that, to be honest.
Is that what you thought I was going to say?
That's exactly what I thought you was going to say.
So the Eidolon shards become sort of like a key that enables you to. The more Eidolons you fight at night, you get keys, and that means you can fight them at your luxury. But then you can come out again. Why can't we
fight Eidolons in the Sanctuary?
Samaras,
get on it.
I'm all for that idea, to be honest. Like I work 9 till 6 nearly every day, so I can get like one run in a night, maybe. I don't have the time to do it. I would love an option to actually do it on my own schedule. That'd be real nice.
Yeah. But again, it would be you can almost, or we could use them to craft a key.
It's why Exploiter's so much better than any other big fights.
Yeah.
Because you can do it when you want. It's faster paced. It's in your control. Honestly, Exploiter is the pinnacle of the fights, and I do hope that whatever they come up with next, the next world boss, is at least as good as the Exploiter.
Yeah, boss designers, in my opinion, has been a weakness of Warframe.
Question. For you guys only.
Mm-hmm.
If you guys want to reply in the comments, go for it. Which is worse? The Prophet Taker or the Eidolon fights? Prophet Taker?
Yeah, it's a mess. The thing, the Eidolon fights, you're aware of what the target is. There is an Eidolon. It's unlikely you're going to get Grineer on if they are to be a hand, and they ain't going to get resources coming in. So you can clear them out if there is. You walk near a camp. Apart from that, you've just got Bombalis turning up randomly, and then you've got the Eidolon. So you know what you're dealing with. You can see it. You can walk away from it. You get good distance. You're not. I know there is a time limit of night, but it is. You feel much more managed, and you can work towards what you feel you're doing wrong or right. Profit Taker is a mess. There's corpus all over the shop. Knockdowns, attack it with this thing, do this now, then do this now. It's like, just give me the boss to fight. There's all these funny mechanics going on. There's armies of corpus everywhere just annoying your day, which you need to kill as well, because you're going to need them for the heavy ammo. So there's that whole complex mechanic going on. It's the same thing with the first trial, and I've said this to do with like first boss fights in raids and things. First time, you keep it simple. You let people learn from the experience. There was plenty new stuff with the heavy weapons, with the damage types being used to go with that. They didn't need to add in the mobs. They didn't need to add in the Arcwing ammo being dropped off of the mobs, and you have to kill them, and then there's all different phases, and then there's knockdown galore, and then shields that push you into water that gets rid of all your energy. There's too much going on. It was just overcooked, that fight. Totally overcooked.
Cool.
No, wrong step. Overcooked.
Well, no, what I'm proposing is like Eidolons were the middle of the stick, Profit Taker was the wrong end of the stick, whereas Exploiter's the right end of the stick.
Yeah, okay.
Horrible analogy, sorry.
I just want to point out that through intersectional methods, you're implying that one end of the stick is superior to the other end of the stick, and this is not a very fair or equal way of looking at things.
No, I'm not saying it's...
All sticks are equal!
What if I'm hitting you with the stick? Which end of the stick would you like to be on, Loz? As I'm hitting you with it.
I think you're pressing sticks again. Right, let's move on.
Right,
so where are replies? I'm still waiting for a proper objective marker for summoning the Gauntulist Hydralist, like literally every other node in the game has. Unfortunately, they don't playtest their own content. So this and any other half-decent quality of life Eidolon fix probably wouldn't even happen in the next 2 years. What are they asking for?
Hold
An
on.
objective marker on the bloody lake. It's a lake.
Hold on.
It's a fucking lake to look at on the map.
The point is, right, it's a hidden thing. It's something for you to work out. Next point, put your own fucking pin on it.
Yeah.
Right? Third point, right? I'm damn well sure DE actually test their own stuff, right? Fourth point.
I think we've seen the department where there's like
multiple times.
Yeah.
What do you think DE Connor does?
It's true. Yeah.
So like,
you see, that's the thing. That's the difference. This is. I hate to break this down, but that's the difference from being. They had from taking a constructive point, and now they're just being malicious for no real reason.
to
think that they don't play their own game. Literally, that this thing they work on day in day out. They just go, right. What are we doing? Okay, guys. What are we doing today? Oh, we're gonna stick some mobs in the game. All right, stick them in. Right. Okay. Should we playtest them? No. We stick more colors in the game. Like, we don't care about this thing at all. We don't care that people like it. Now, should we we've got this build. Should we give it a go ourselves? Nah, just change them up. Like it crosses up. They had a point, which is fair enough, and they're saying about that. Obviously, there was a point here. They say they find it hard to find the waypoint because it's not marking. The game has, and I completely forgot until you just said, you can put your own markers on the map. Yeah. The game doesn't let you know that, though. Now, there is a fair point. They've made a fair point there that the game is not letting you know of this information, right? That could benefit them, right? But to say that they just break their whole point by going, it's because they don't play their own. It's like they play their game so much, it's ridiculous.
Yes. I think it's unfortunate, unless your name is Pablo in that entire company, apparently no one plays that game. Apparently Pablo's the only one that plays the game.
The fact that Steve used to have a stream where it's like, I'm going to play the game and you're going to watch the game.
And that's how we're getting Empyrean.
Yep.
It's like, there's so many things you can legitimately complain about. Like, the biggest problem the game I've known a lot of people have is there's not a fucking colorblind mode in the game still.
See, that's a fair point. And they have made some improvements towards colorblind, but yes, a full mode is still not implemented. It's true.
Yeah, there's legitimate things you can complain about, but saying there's no marker on what's supposed to be an initially hidden objective is just a waste of effort.
Yeah.
There are definitely much worse things you can complain about in this game. See this podcast for more details.
Please complain about this podcast.
We complain in the podcast.
About the podcast, it is truly bad. It's true.
Man, that podcast is so bad.
Honestly, DE should just get rid of the night-day limitation somehow, rather than players punishing themselves and alienating the casual players that DE so often caters to. If players could run in Tridalon anytime they wanted, like half of the toxicity in Warframe would be gone.
That's really extreme to say half, but I do agree with their point.
It's interesting. Obviously, Tobiah might have to let us know on this one, because sometimes I feel that our replies are very on-point topics most of the time, whereas this one seems to have brought out the worst in people.
Hold on.
I mean, that's 2 in a row that are a bit like, God, that's a bit shocking.
What am I asking, Tobiah?
Was this topic unusually toxic in its replies? Are you asking Tobiah now, are you?
Yeah, why not?
I will say I've only had probably two or three toxic experiences in the entire 5 years I've played this game, and both times it was, sorry, I don't want you in my Tridalon squad because you haven't done it enough times to prove that you can do it. I don't know where they're getting the tracking number from, but it's like, how do you know I've done it less than this number of times? What the fuck?
Sorry, what was...
Is it in the profile somewhere?
What was the question?
Maybe it is.
Was topic 3, the Hydralist one, did it have an unusually large amount of toxic replies or something? We've got 2 in a row here. It's just...
Okay.
This person is basically saying that by doing this, we'll remove half of the toxicity in the fan base. First of all, I want to see their stats on this. This seems a bit much.
Citation needed.
Oh, high five!
Damn it. True.
Did it.
But again, I can see maybe it would help a bit. But I mean, do you guys often sit around going, "Oh, I can't do. It's nighttime. It's not nighttime. Oh, I need to do my Hydralist fight. Oh, rage out at people." Take that out to noobs.
I do find it funny that most of the time I'm waiting in this game, it's waiting about 6 minutes for the night to start so I can do a goddamn Eidolon.
So when we actually had the Nightwave do a Tridalon, I remember being upset that we didn't have it wasn't readily accessible to us. I think we had to wait 2 hours before we could do it, which is the better part of annoying, but it's not, it's just what it is. So I do like the idea of, hey, look, you can maybe pay it to the quills, right?
I think the best way of doing it that fit in the game is that you craft a key that lets you run, that you go on the planes and it says use key, and then
sure, but maybe the blueprints from the quills, whatever.
Definitely
the whole idea was that maybe the quills can use some weird time travel majiggery, conceptual multiverse crap in order to actually pull it off, rather than Ponzu has had early lunch, therefore nighttime. It's you get the idea. So more forward, more reply.
Well, what Tobiah did put, but my arcane prices.
Was that actually Tobiah? I thought that would be a reply. I don't know. No, I thought that would be a reply to the
one above.
Yeah.
Okay, it's tabbed in, so I don't know if that's Tobiah being... Yeah, I suppose maybe put Tobiah note.
Yeah.
But my arcane prices! Yeah, I mean, that's...
Blind demand, bitch.
But then, if you made these... You could make it that's quite expensive. Because people are sitting on quite a lot of these Eidolon shards. You can make it like 10 or 20 to build this key. Why not? I mean, they're literally used for not much at the moment, so they're being picked up and accumulated, and that'd be a good use, I feel. And the last reply is simply, DE have expressed their dislike about people doing 5x3. There we go, 5x3. And higher in a single night. So don't expect any quality of life improvements that would speed up Eidolon hunting anytime soon.
Try Eidolon! I'm not wrong.
I'm going to say citation needed on that, because I don't think DE would be upset. I don't know, maybe they would be, but I don't feel they would be.
When have they said this?
Yeah, this one feels odd to me.
If anyone knows, please feel free to leave a
people
comment.
are playing our game so well and so efficiently. They're doing it a lot faster in a thing than we thought they could have. Okay, they're getting a few arcanes more than we thought. How's that going to be?
It's not a mobile game, guys. They don't care how much they don't care that much on how much you're playing it.
Yeah, and none of the rewards from the Eidolon are purchasable with real money. So
also, they don't particularly care about the platinum economy within the game itself.
Yeah,
you know, it's just like
you're buying platinum and you're spending platinum.
Yeah. So
and then it's hardly a competitive game anyway. So
if you guys have any basically any reference to when D have said they don't like 5x3 runs or 5 Tridolon runs or a night, you know, please let us know in the comments, because genuinely, like, we don't recall them ever saying this. This feels like someone's putting words in their mouth.
it's probably like a random comment on a random thread in the Warframe forum that one of the devs don't like it. That might be it. Or might be like impassive. It might have been saying, I personally don't like the idea of 5x3, but people do it, so whatevs.
Yeah, if anything, surely the one thing I could think of how they may dislike it is it just shows them the power of players is beyond what they thought it was for their game. That's the direction I would assume it probably goes in. Like that, we didn't think that was possible, and players are able to achieve this. That's a bit tricky, because it again ruins how much power they think players are bringing into each mission, and it's way beyond what they thought. That's the only thing I can think of.
If anything, I think the proposed addition from the original post will maybe make it 6x3, or just guarantee a 5x3 more easily.
Yeah,
I don't think it's going to have any more impact than that.
Yeah.
So, anywho.
And if people do find a way to kill these things quicker, and they can, let's say that they can just spawn them, kill them, spawn them, kill them, and they get to 10x3, who does that benefit?
Yeah, I mean, if anything...
This is a quality of life improvement for, again, like a small fraction of the player base, and it just gets them the ability to get more arcanes quicker so they can sell them on the market. I honestly don't see how this is a quality of life improvement when you can literally go through the door, load, come back through the door, load, done. What have we gained but time for you to abuse the game some more? The Eidolons come up and die. Woohoo, more loot!
Eventually, we'll be able to one-shot Eidolons.
Yeah, exactly, and it'll just make them into I would say a loot cave, but I mean a loot puddle. They'll just come out, die, come out, die, come down, die. Look at the loot! Come out, die, come out, die. Look at the loot!
But the big thing is that the people that are going to benefit from this aren't the people that are going to play it. It's the people that are going to be able to buy the arcanes for significantly cheaper, because the supply is just going to skyrocket.
Well, it won't skyrocket at all, because
if you do 10x3.
No. But it's a small portion of the population are able to achieve this, so it won't really make. It will make an impact on the amount of arcanes that those people can produce, but it won't affect. Like, I won't be able to do it. I can't even do a 5x3, let alone a 10x3. So it's not going to. So it's going to give a small portion of players a lot more arcanes, unless they'll be able to generate a lot more money for themselves.
But if a 10x they'll be able to generate more money for themselves, sure, but it'll cost less money for the individual.
A bit less, but not a massive.
If they could do a 10x3, but you could only pull off a 5x3, that's still better than a 1x3.
But that's all I can achieve, and I count myself as kind of an average player.
Anyway. Should we...
I think this really just benefits the small population of the player base. I don't think this isn't a quality of life.
Yeah.
I want more loot improvement.
Right, shall we tally-ho, forward and what? I don't think there's anything else to add to this.
Did we do a card for it?
We did the whole 3 Eidolon fight.
Right, yeah.
I don't know if we still got a card. Use.
Nah. Oh no, why not ask the question about this actual one? Would you like the respawnable? Would you like to use Eidolon shards to respawn the trio? To
would you like to cycle Eidolon fights?
No, reset the trio. reset the fight? Would you like to be able to reset the trio fight?
Oh.
Okay.
I'm just generally surprised because I've not looked at the price of arcanes in a long time because I never thought I'd ever have enough Plat saved to do it. And I remember like arcane energizing so much each, and they've come way down.
Yeah, the cheapest chips now.
I did not realize they went that down. I might start farming some Plat up to get some now finally.
Well, that's just going to happen when there's nothing else to do. People are still farming these things, and eventually, and then the players that it's not an expendable resource. So as players have them, eventually everyone has them. If they're that cheap, I might start buying sets of them and just be like, right, well, I've got my sets. I don't have to do that anymore.
Cool. Right. So, would you like to reset trio fight? Cool. Right. So that's it for topics. MAs. Did you upload them in Dropbox to be sure?
Yeah.
Okay. You ready? Oh, hold on. Off. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. First one.
So, for everyone's benefit, these are memes, Warframe-based memes that are taken from the r/memeframe subreddit.
Meme frame review.
There you go. Zero's on the claps. They do some really funny jokes. If you ever just want to, go look at them if you love Warframe, because some of them are really on point. But anyway, so I've just picked a handful. I picked 6 every week. Not always the top voted, but some of the highly voted ones normally, and we have a little look at them. So first one we have here are, what even are mods? What newbies think after they've leveled up their first Warframe and gear to rank 30? We are in the end game now. How wrong they are.
That one tickled my fancy so much.
Oh.
The good old days where the end game was even reaching level 30.
Yeah.
Oh. Next one.
I've got a 30 frame. I can go anywhere now. Nah. Next one. Yeet. It's called apparently. I don't know why, but it's a bit of a return of the Shaggy memes. They've been out of style a while, but they've come back with this one, which is me fishing in Plains of Eidolon. Tusk Thumper. Are you challenging me? Those Tusk Thumpers, they are ridiculous.
Yep.
Number 3.
Whoops.
Oh, this is for Xeno.
Better be for me. What?
Little Duck. What are you thinking about, Little Duck? Murder.
Oh.
And I think literally the only change they've made to this thing is they just stuck Little Duck's head on. That was the original thing. It was like a little duck thinking about murder. And Little Duck on it. So
I remember the original. This is perfect recycling.
Yep. Number 4. Couldn't think of a good caption, so I just made the image. Tough guy, finger snapping. Oh yeah. So you got all of the, I don't know what we call them.
Mid-bosses.
The mid-bosses, there we are. And they just, was it West Side Story? That's the one. There we go. Someone could come up with a lovely title for that, I'm sure. I thought that one was just hilarious, though. Next we go on to number 5. Oh, right. I saw this one. It wasn't the most upvoted, and I thought, I must put this in as respect to our console brethren. Still waiting. Wow, look at that. No update on console. I know you guys have to wait, but it is good when it comes. But yes, they have to sit there.
I do like how the reverse meme of consoles of the beta testers, PC is the true experience, isn't it? A complete flip with this game.
Oh, is that the first reply or something?
No, that's my fault.
Oh,
that's my fault.
Yeah. And then the final meme 6, definitely Space Ninjas. And I thought about this one. That's how I tell everyone about the game. It's like, what's Warframe about? And I'm like, Space Ninjas. And it's like, so what's Warframe all about? And then you got someone thinking, and there's the Shazwin, the
Shorzin.
Shorzin.
Yeah, I keep getting it wrong.
Okay,
Mandicord.
Then the bottom one is Animal Capture. I spent ages looking at that pit bottom left.
Oh, and is it bottom right's fishing?
Bottom right's fishing, yeah. All things that are really not Space Ninja, and it's like how the variety we have in the game now. And it's like, Space Ninjas. It's like, what? That's exactly true, because that's how I...
Yeah.
Space Ninjas. Yeah. Yep. There we go. So that is it for the memes this week. Let us have community shout-outs.
Right. So our first community shout-out is this gorgeous Wisp by Just Dream.
Oh, I was waiting for you to link them for some reason.
I never do.
Xeno's going to link this list, and I'll click it. And I'm like, yeah, I know. I don't know why. There we go. The first one, Wisp.
Ooh.
Here's my take on my fashion framed Wisp from Pokemon. This was a nice perspective practice. Oh,
I've got to be honest. I've actually been playing Wisp recently, and I actually do enjoy her. Mostly for the mobility, but I am trying to get into how to do the plants, the reservoirs and things, and is it right? Okay, if you have a healing MacGuffin, what color is it?
Red or green?
Scarlet?
I don't know, white, maybe red on it? Like,
no. In a video game, there is a healing item. What color will it be?
Oh god, I've played far too... my first thought is orange because Sunny in Dark Souls.
Okay. Well, I actually expected it to be green. It turned out to be red. So, never mind. I'm just a special case.
Green is sometimes used because green is good, I suppose, but green, it's biological or whatever. Red is the standard staple because, health potions are always red. The first aid logo.
I always felt that red was like for damage, strength.
The Red Cross color. First aid.
I know, but I never see that in
health potions, Diablo, Zelda, health hearts, red.
Anyway.
Color of blood.
What's blood. The thing that you excise out of things as you shoot them.
And the thing you want to have in yourself.
Anyway, yeah, but I don't heal myself by drinking blood.
We need that vampire frame.
Legacy of Kain! Anyway, right, second community shout out. It's not a Xeno podcast if there isn't Legacy of Kain reference. Right, the second community shout out is the gorgeous Sarin Prime by Bubble Steak.
Bumble
Steak.
Bubble steak. Bubble steak.
I've
actually for practice. For practice. This amazing piece of artwork here. This glorious thing that you could put on the wall. I'm not letting you hold on. You see this glorious thing? Yeah. That's practice. That is. That's not even what they meant to do. That's I'll just whip up a practice shot.
I'm glad you actually pointed out that I got the name wrong because I did actually write down Bubble Steak in the notes. Thank you, Loz. Right, but yeah, that's practice.
It's practice.
That's practice. Yeah. With that.
Sorry, Scarlett. Me and Xeno have no artistic ability whatever. So all these people are like, oh, this is just a doodle.
I think you'll find I can draw a mighty fine stick man. Can't do stick women yet, but
working on that.
I posted something earlier today on my Twitter in regards to like tutorial video. Someone already drawing something to a high display level standard. I'm sorry, guys, it's just a work in progress. My immediate first thought. Oh, I'm sorry. I think you're pretty fucking finished there, mate.
The third community shout out is this gorgeous Titania by
God, this is insane.
Jarana.
Here's a drawing of Titania sitting on a rose and missing her wings. What? I'm lazy too, and this took me already so long. Oh yeah,
so that's the kind of laziness I could accept. It's just like, it's taking me 6 days. Fuck it, this is done.
Yeah, this is me being lazy. I'm like, you're not being lazy. it's like I wouldn't even. Oh god, there's so much work into this, as you can see. And it's like you're not being lazy. That's brilliant as it is. Like,
yeah, I've just immediately followed this person.
Again, that can go on a wall. In fact, that could be the wall. Right, next.
The fourth community shout out is this Excalibur by Natapat. I'm not reading the last name. That is such a long last name.
Oh,
Charon
Tang Prasarat. Charon Tang Prasarat.
I'm not going to attempt.
Yeah, exactly, right. So, yeah, I thought this was cool. Especially
That's cool
the
little
Prime
model.
version.
I am Prime Key Faces. I like this guy. He's got a good sense of humor.
Yeah.
Right. The 5th community shout out is this Vault Prime with the Arrestor helmet by Yu Uchida. Yeah, Uchida.
I love this art style. This
Wait,
is
that says-
great.
Oh, commissioned
Yeah.
by Philander, yeah.
I think the head is a bit too big, though. I know it's the style, but I'm like, there's big and then there's...
It's a bit
What?
too. It's a bit
This-
too.
This is what I expected an
head
Android
anime.
version of Warframe.
Right.
This is fantastic. I love this.
The 6th community shout out is
I love that Scarlet can be positive and that me and you are just so jaded and conceited. We're like,
What?
that's
What are
amazing.
you talking about? Anyway,
He's like, wow, look at that. And we're just like,
the 6th community shout
freaking
out.
pictures.
The 6th community shout out is obligatory Shorzin video by Joey Zero, and he legitimately played it.
Now, see, this is interesting because a lot of the Shazwin stuff, because
Shorzin.
Enzino have been telling Shorzin, I keep getting wrong. They're actually using. They're not actually playing it, are they? They're using
Like-
clever doodads that just play the music
It's
for
just
them and
macro.
they just set it up as a script in macro. Whereas this is him actually playing it, isn't it? Because you can see the
Yeah.
hand moving at
The-
speed. It's
like, he is primarily focusing on 1 or 2 strings, and he is focusing on the left hand as opposed to the right hand. So he's only strumming with like 1 or 2, but he's focusing on the left hand more than anything, which the game itself doesn't necessarily do. It has you focus on both hands at the same time. So
Yeah.
yes, it's a bit easier for him to do, but like it's still damn impressive that he did it himself.
we can't rebind these keys yet, can we?
I think we can, because I can see his keys are left, down, right, which indicates that they actually did put it in, and I missed it. So I'm bloody rebinding them. Right. Yep.
I've been on a binge of these Shorzin videos on YouTube. So it's utterly fantastic.
I genuinely want to do... Is it Shooting Star by The Pillows? Which is
Yes.
Which is the Fooly Cooly one. Ba-da-bow, bow, bow, ba-da-ba-da, ba-da-ba-da, ba-da-bow, bow.
There's one I saw. I think it's one of the most viewed ones. To be fair, it's Shorzian Trio, A Cruel Angel's Thesis, and
Fake.
it's fantastic. It's probably fake, to be fair, but it's so good.
No, but that's. You mean what do you mean by fake? It is actually played. It's just
No, it's
macro.
macro.
Do you mean?
Yeah.
It's
Yes,
macro, yeah.
No, there's still a lot of work that went into that. I
No,
don't
I
want to say
get
it's
that.
fake.
I
Yeah.
get that, but play it yourself, right? And you'll have my respect.
Right. Yes. yeah.
Because
Well,
anyone
no,
can go online, download a copy of the thing, and then... Because there's already script generators out there that can actually do it for you.
I don't know how much effort it is, but at least I went through a little bit. And I still have to combine the 3 versions of it, I assume. And
Oh no,
try and sync
syncing
it up.
footage together. Oh.
Some effort went into it. You know, the idea of
Oh,
doing
in
it.
the
I
description-
appreciate.
Uploading to YouTube is
In the description, it says it took him 12 hours. I don't know what those 12 hours involved, but if he's being honest, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, well, to be honest, it's not like we have all the music in the world in this format. So I do appreciate they've at least done it because it now exists when it wouldn't before.
Mm.
I get, yeah, don't be wrong. Now knowing that Joey did that by hand I am in awe of doing it more than people who just stick things into a generator. But I do appreciate that this thing wouldn't have existed otherwise. So,
and the 7th community shout out is Teaser by
Schmalt.
Valentina Paz. You remember we had Valentina on the show, yes, Loz?
yeah.
Okay.
You made Schmold. He's so cute, Diddley. He's so cute.
Top first comment: Smolt has returned.
Not as return.
It's awesome.
Eventually,
Great.
you'll grow to be an amazing vet, Smalt, and on that day, you'll take a new player under your wing as well. That is the beauty of this game and its community. See, it's just, it's so good,
Right.
so good. Can't wait.
Are you ready for my...
Right, let's go.
Cool.
Okay.
We have no idea what other deep space threats are out there. and our one-man espionage unit had a prior commitment on the other side of the solar system. Orokin alone can't protect us. We need to find more Tenno.
This is Marvel.
Mm-hmm. Go on, Scarlet.
What was the middle bit again? After it says we don't know what's out there. What's that middle bit again?
No.
I'll read out the whole thing.
Okay.
We have no idea what other deep space threats are out there. And our one-man espionage unit had a prior commitment on the other side of the solar system. Orokin alone cannot protect us. We need to find more Tenno.
I think I know which one it is.
I'm pretty sure Loz knows what it is.
Is it Captain Marvel?
It is Captain Marvel.
Thought.
It's Nick Fury at the end, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yep. That's it.
Yep.
Last time I was on, we didn't get it at all.
Do you remember what the last one was for you?
I think it was the White House Down one that you did, if I remember right.
You are a Lotus. You are a Lotus Dam traitor, sir. You dim little track dunk. Yeah, I've got it in front of me. Cool. Right. Well, that's it for this week. If you enjoy this episode, please like, comment, and subscribe. I hate that I have to say this now.
Apparently, do you know? Apparently, I hate when I hear people say it, but apparently it makes a difference.
It does make a difference. It makes a huge difference. And one thing I've started doing is actually advertising that the Arbiter's videos are funded by Patreon 5 minutes into the actual episode, and I've already seen a positive result of that.
You've also got to tell people to ring that bell.
Yeah, ring the bell.
Ring the bell. Xeno likes bells.
Punch the comments, lick the subscribe button,
Go
wipe
to
down your
Google page
monitor.
to chance of winning some platinum.
Yeah. And we shall see you lovies next time. Thank you very much, Scarlet, for being on.
Not to worry. Thanks for having me on.
Supporting the channel. And where's the end button? End screen.
Hey, Drew.
What?
Play Sandstorm.